Hi everyone, Paul Akers. I'm down here in Costa Rica surfing, but I get asked a question an awful lot, and I got a lot of emails recently about they want to see our morning meeting. And you know, we have a morning meeting video up, but it's very old. We haven't really recorded our latest one, but recently, about 2 or 3 months ago, we had Ron Pereira from Gemba Academy come in and say, hey, we want to record your morning meeting. We want to record a lot of your processes so we can show the rest of the world what's going on. And we're always happy to do that because then we don't have to give as many tours. And frankly, the videos are a very powerful medium to eliminate a lot of waste. And everybody can see our processes and how we do things very simply and easily. And I might say I apologize for the black eye. The board hit me about 5 days ago. It's still not healed, but so you have to put up with my black eye a little bit. But this is just a quick intro before we get into the morning meeting. So what you're going to see is a meeting that's going to last for about 50 minutes, which is quite a long time. It's not unusual for our meetings to last that long. This one was maybe a little bit longer because I explained some things that we were doing within the meeting. But it's a very methodical process. We're very disciplined about teaching and training our people. We've been doing it for, 8, 9 years now. And we're just very, it's the most important thing we do. That's all I can say. And then we work. And so a lot of people are going to be watching this video and go, this is crazy. How do you afford to have that many people standing around and doing this every day? Well, my response is we can't afford not to do it because we have very smart people that have a keen understanding of a lot of different issues. And as a result, they're able to make good decisions on how to improve processes on a daily basis. So we believe in this, and we believe that this is the core of what our company is about. So enjoy the morning meeting, and we're going to go through a whole bunch of different things. Now, if you want to know how to lead a morning meeting like ours, you can just go online and you'll see under Lean Videos, there's a place you click on Lean Videos and you'll see Lean Documents, and there will be the complete outline for a morning meeting that we use every day that we go through. You'll see Nick leading the meeting this time, and that's basically what he's going through, that agenda. So it's very straightforward, but I do want to caution you, I do not recommend you having a morning meeting as long as ours, at least to start with. I always say start small or slow and be consistent. It's much more important to have a morning meeting that lasts 5 minutes and do it every day and never miss than to have one that lasts a half hour or 15 minutes and then hit and miss in the way you execute it. The key with Lean basically is discipline. You need to be focused. You need to understand it's a top priority and nothing becomes more important than it. Even when you get busy, you need to do your morning meeting because that allows for clear communication on everything that's going on in your company with the entire company. And if you have multiple shifts, yes, you can do it at shift change. There are companies around the world that are doing this with 3 shifts, and they do it very successfully. So really basically what I'm saying is no excuses. If you have an excuse for why you can't do Lean, this doesn't work with us because we're not manufacturers, doesn't work with us because we have union people, doesn't work with us because we have multiple shifts, well, you're just a person that likes to get excuses. That's all there is to it. I want to be brutal about that. But if you don't make excuses and you find a way, you use your creativity, you continuously improve, you will have a dynamic culture as we do, and you'll have similar results to what we have, which is basically an incredible place to work that's a lot of fun with everybody being engaged. So enjoy our morning meeting. Hopefully you learn a lot. If you have any questions, you can email me directly. I'm happy to answer those for you. Thanks a lot.
All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So Paul's going to introduce our
We have very special
Yes,
guest,
sir.
Ron Pereira. You guys, I think, remember Ron. He came here before, and he's going to be filming us all day today. So we're going to have a lot of fun. So Ron's going to be walking around with Greg, and anything he wants to know, tell him everything. Ron's open book today.
All right. So first things first, sales. You say 31,000? Okay, 31,000 on Friday, 0 mistakes. And I think we closed out July with 1.2 million, which is awesome.
Wow. Awesome.
Okay, on the dashboard, everything is caught up and we have 0 back orders.
So this is like the second or third perfect day.
Yeah.
So here, let me, I'm just going to do a thing real quick for our guests so you know what's going on here. So this is what we call our dashboard. And essentially what it does is it tells us the stat. I've got a mic. They've got me mic'd up. Essentially it tells you the status of our company in a snapshot. So our goal is 2 hours fax to truck. So 2 hours from the time you order something from us, it is made, packaged, and shipped and in the truck. So typing is all caught up. We're staying on schedule 2 hours from the time they get the order, the time it's to the shipping department. The shipping department is on track. Production 1, engineering's on track. We had no mistakes today, so we put a 1 there, which is really good. We monitor every mistake we make. We measure our Kanbans. We have tens of thousands of Kanbans throughout the entire facility, and we don't want to miss a single one. One gets put aside because then it interrupts flow. So we're on track on Kanbans. Back orders, we have no back orders out of 700 products. That's really miraculous.
What's 2 mean, Paul?
Where's 2? Right here. So we have 2 back orders.
Oh, okay.
Good. And so this has been a very difficult thing for us. It's very hard to have that many products and never be back ordered on a single thing. So this is a big deal here. And we're missing no tools as well. So if one tool is missing from our facility, we basically shut down the whole place. We find the tool. We don't work until we get the tool in place, because if you don't have a tool, you interrupt flow. Everything here is about flow in our company. So that's just our snapshot on how we manage our company on a daily basis.
Got it.
Hey, very nice. So I'm going to go on to raving fans here, but as I'm doing that, I'm going to pass the wood of the day around so everyone can get a look at it.
It's a pretty wood.
It is. Don't say what it is yet, though.
Okay, but look on the back side so you know, because we're training you on identifying wood, so we let you look at it and then you identify the wood. Because we're in the wood industry, everybody here has to know every species of wood and know it very well.
Okay, so here's our raving fan. Who talked to this guy? Was this you, John, or?
Oh, that was, so this is a company that is a bunch of woodworkers in New England that is associated with fine home building, and they have an annual meeting, and we support them by giving them a gift certificate to our website for all the people that attend the meeting, and this is his comment, so I'll let you read the comment.
Okay, so he said, I'm happy to say, Paul, that no matter the donation, I have been happy to recommend FastCap since my first dealings with your company at a JLC live show in Columbus, Ohio, a long time ago. Whether it's another contractor around here or many other forum visitors seeking help or guidance, I find myself often suggesting they take a look at your site. Your products are so varied that people are often of any varied level of interest should be able to find something useful. So thanks for being there and continually coming up with new ideas. That you seem to put the customer first is just the icing on the cake. If there were somebody that wasn't satisfied with the quality and backup warranty you offer, I'd be very surprised. Calvin.
Cool. And you know what? I forgot one thing. Ashley's here. Where's Ashley? Ashley, I'm sorry. Ashley's all the way here from the UK, from Climb Easy, along with his family. So Katie will be here maybe tomorrow, and you'll get to see Katie. So welcome, Ashley.
Okay, very nice. So has everybody looked at the wood yet? No, obviously not. So I'm just going to, spoilers for the second half of the group here. It's walnut. So anybody that was able to guess that before looking on the back, how were you able to do it? And don't answer until I give you this microphone. So Ed, how were you able to tell?
With the walnut, I was able to tell with the darkness of the wood.
The microphone here.
Yeah. The darkness of the wood.
You're on TV now, Ed, man.
The grain and the smoke look of the natural on the wood. That's about all I caught off of it. The different darkness, the grain darkness of the grains.
Yeah, it says fine but open grain, moderately coarse texture. What's the difference between the heartwood and the sapwood, Paul? In that?
That's a good question. Well, don't ask me. Anybody else know the difference between heartwood and sapwood?
Sapwood is softwood. Softwood.
No, I meant in the walnut. What is the What's the differences in there?
Do you know?
Do they look different?
We don't really get sapwood in our walnut. Okay. Well, what would be the difference, you think, Ed?
The difference
what would it look like?
In the hardwood would be the tissue inside in the bark itself, the wood itself. You're getting more sap coming out. That's
because it's on the outside of the tree. The heartwood's the center of the tree. Sapwood's on the outside. It's generally lighter color too. Okay.
All right, very nice.
And look at, I think it's important, Nick, it all comes from the Northeast.
Oh, wow.
Comes from, basically the East Coast. That's where walnut.
So we're kind of like with walnut, like China is with the rare earth metals, huh?
You got it. There you go.
All right, so on to gratefuls. You want to start bringing those up?
I said I was grateful for my lawnmower and weed eater to make life a lot easier.
Do you like them?
Yeah, I love them.
Awesome.
You didn't do it on Sunday, did you?
I did, in Linden.
Is that how you cut your hair?
On Sunday.
Yeah.
We're going to tar and feather you, man.
I'm grateful for my girl made it here safely and having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
How long is she here for?
Just a week.
Oh, so she's gone already?
Yeah.
Oh. Should have brought her to morning meeting.
You can have that back.
Oh, thank you.
I am grateful for grandchildren and the joy they bring to my life.
You have grandkids?
Yeah.
You're not old enough for grandkids.
I've got 2 boys, they have kids.
All right, so I need to interrupt and ask a question. So what is this going on?
Oh, okay. So this is a really cool thing. So this is our Grateful Box that we learned from a guy named Ben Kenny. He has about 800 employees, and in his morning meeting every morning, they put in about 6 grateful notes, and their goal is to fill this by the end of the year. And so we went and toured their facility and learned it. So Ben was nice enough to give us this. And so we started a grateful thing because we think if you have a grateful attitude, you'll do a lot better in life.
Nice.
So 6 people talk about what they're grateful for every morning.
Love it.
It's a new improvement.
Here, hold up. Here, come up and say it into the microphone. I'm doing really bad with this. Here you go.
I'm grateful for the beautiful outdoors around here and for mosquito repellent.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I love it.
I said I was grateful.
Wait. There you go.
I said I was grateful for the motorized vehicles.
And fast ones, right?
Yeah, and fast ones.
Sports cars. We know your type.
I was grateful for the weekend I had.
Good, and why?
Nice.
I don't know, it's just awesome.
Keep it PG.
All right, is that everybody? Yes? Okay, on to the product. Paul's going to help me out this morning because I was busy pestering you guys for improvement videos.
Okay, so Kaizen foam, everybody knows about this here because we use it all the time, but I'm going to show you something really cool. In order to use Kaizen foam really effectively, and you really want to enjoy the experience, you want the knife to go into the foam absolutely effortlessly. See how that goes in there effortlessly? Well, the reason it goes in there effortlessly is because the knife is sharp. And I'm going to show you a picture of a sharp knife and a dull knife. The sharp knife comes to a very fine point. The dull knife has something called a burr on it. See that little piece of metal? What happens is as you use the knife, the end of the blade, because it's so fine, rolls over and gets a little burr or a hook on it. See that little hook? So whenever your knife is not cutting effortlessly in cardboard or anything you're doing, it has a burr on it or a small little hook. You can't see it, but it's there. Now I'm going to show you how a pro gets rid of it. You simply take your knife all the way out like that. You take one of our diamond sharpening stones and you basically polish it at a slight angle, just like this. Turn it over to the other side, polish it like that, and you're basically removing that burr. You can do it once or twice like this. And when you get done, this knife will glide through there effortlessly. See how easy that is? So today's training is on sharpening a knife. Look at that. Just, you don't even have to work at it. That's the key. So every time you go to cut Kaizen foam, make sure your knife is razor sharp with a what? Pocket diamond sharpener. What grit's best? 1000 grit. Everyone clear on that? Okay, there you go. That's your training for today.
How much do they sell for?
Which one?
$24? Oh, for the Kaizen knife, yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant for the
No, for Paul's sharpening services. How much is that now? $270. How much is 2 of them? $550. All right. Okay. Okay, on to improvements. So it says 3 people want to volunteer before I show the 3 awesome videos I shot this morning. All right, I'm going to have to call on you. You guys don't make this easy. Brady. Oh, my gosh. I'm calling on him when he comes back. Let's see here. How about Alicia? Hold on. I got to get you this mic.
This morning, Michelle and I were finishing up the Power Mag station. We added 18mm Power Mags because we were putting 9/16 in with the 18mm ones. We added the 18mm caps so that they would match the Power Mags.
Nice. So here, you want to give that to Callie, actually, because she's getting called on next.
Yeah, so in the aisle where there's the labels, I'm going to put, like, on the racking so they'll be labeled so you'll know which labels are where, because right now it's kind of unclear and people have to ask me where the labels are. So, and then which ones are which, because it doesn't label on the box.
And for what product?
For the trifolds.
Awesome.
Very nice. Why don't you hand that to Lucas? Lucas, we haven't heard from you in a while.
All right,
What are you up
so
to?
I noticed that there's no label for the paper towels in the bathroom, so I'm putting a label on the paper towel rack and saying to restock it if it's low.
Awesome.
Nice. Just
Good
that,
job.
just the whole shelf up there, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Good.
Very nice. Okay, so now we have a bunch of videos here. Okay, I shot some of these vertically. I apologize.
Oh, we don't allow
It
that,
doesn't.
man.
It doesn't register until you're going back and watching them on the computer.
Torture.
So, yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
Vertical videos?
This is a horizontal one, so.
Today I'm gonna label these boxes. As you guys can see, there's no labels on there, so nobody knows what they are.
Nice.
That was short and sweet.
Here's the labels that I'm gonna put on the rack so people can see what they are. Just like that. I have these labels that just kind of.
There's a vertical one.
Everywhere, and it pisses me off, so I'll get back to the improvement.
There you go.
Alright, so we're back here, and I got my labels. I got number 6 clamshell, and they go into the box full already, so all I have to do is just grab one, throw it in the box, and it's done.
Nice improvement.
Problem. Every morning, every Monday when I've got to make the schedules for the leader, the kitchen, the bathroom, this is what I come up against, because I have these all in a box. So we're going to fix that. So this is the result. We're going to have it, so now when I need a picture, I just have to take it out.
Nice.
So yeah, and then maybe we could all start filming our own improvements, because that was kind of time consuming going around this morning.
Even if you only get one as the morning leader, if you just have one video, I think that would be adequate.
Okay.
You don't have to get that many, but that
Right.
was nice.
Okay. Okay, so on to our FastCap's 21 principles. Our job title is what? Who wants to explain that? Come on, guys.
Process engineer.
There you go, Zach. You want to indulge on that a little more?
Well, the answer is process engineer, and here we have process for everything, so our job is to continuously improve our process, which engineers always improve things and build new things, so always building processes and improving them.
So me and Michelle filled out a rental application last week, and on the job title, she actually put process engineer, and I was laughing about that.
Right on.
Which you're supposed to do, but if somebody was to come to you and say like, "What the heck is this?" How would you explain that?
How would you explain it?
Well, you'd have to know about FastCap first, because that's our job title, and it's not really engineer, but it's just creating a process. I don't know. That's a hard one.
Well, it is.
Explain to people don't
It's
understand what
definitely
it
an
is.
engineer. I mean, you're definitely engineering or improving something. That's what engineers do. How would you describe engineering, Dennis?
Just making new things, making things better.
Okay.
Anything like a process or a object, a computer program, anything. If you're making things better and you're doing it in a systematic way, that is what engineers do.
So then what happens if, we have a bunch of people who are not formal engineers, who haven't been trained in a university like you and Lucas and Tyler? Is it disingenuous to say they're process engineers?
Well, we are being trained right here.
Okay.
Because the training in school is just a small portion of engineering. I think the real training comes from the experience and how you approach the things you're engineering and like the things you're working on. It's all about how you get trained on your own experience. It's not all about the school education.
Excellent answer. Wow, very cool. I got one of my favorite stories about this whole thing is Paul Singh. So everyone remembers Paul Singh for the most part. He worked here. And Paul was kind of like, for those of you who don't know him, a bodybuilder, kind of, a tough guy, right? And he's coming back from Canada, and he's in an Audi with 4 other people from FastCap, and he pulls through the border stop, and the border agent's man rolled down the window and said, "What's your job title?" And they all worked at FastCap, and they all said process engineers, and they said, "Go ahead." And they're all a bunch of young kids. Don't you think that's funny? As soon as they said process engineer, oh, these are respectable people, go. And Paul said it was amazing. It's never happened before, but they all said, process engineer, what's your job? Process engineer, process engineer.
Yeah, it just sounds so fancy and official, nobody wants to question it and sound dumb, so they're like, oh, of course you are. Yeah, I know what that is. Go ahead.
Yeah, there are a lot of different types of engineer. Like mechanical engineer build weapons and civil engineer build targets.
Build what?
Targets.
Oh.
Let's just take a second to appreciate the depth of that joke. That was a good one. All right. 8 deadly sins of waste. You're all red, so I can call on any of you. So does anybody want to volunteer?
I'll do it.
Nice. Tyler.
Bob Barker.
Come on down. So to start it off, we overproduce and we transport it here, and we put that into inventory, which hides defects, and we have to rework it, which is overprocessing, which wastes motion, as well as our customers' time as they're waiting for us, and we're losing employee potential at the same time.
Very nice.
Incredible job.
Don't forget
Great
to spay
job.
and neuter your pets.
And the cool thing is Tyler's been with it. How long have you been here, Tyler?
3 weeks. I think it's my 3rd week.
3rd week. Not bad for knowing the 8 wastes, and no acronym run either.
Yeah.
You know, we don't use acronyms here.
Tim would. He doesn't live here.
Yeah.
All right. So this was an email we got.
And can I give you a little background on this?
Yeah, please do.
So when I was speaking up in Canada a while back, I met this man named Bruce Ennens. He was sitting at the front table with a bunch of the people that he was responsible for training at a large company in Canada. And Bruce was different than most lean consultants because he was very happy, very, just super engaged about everything. And all the people at the table that he was responsible for from this big company were all really happy and engaged. I was like, wow, you guys are totally different. He says, we love lean. We love it because it makes our life better. And I was going, wow, you're incredible. So Bruce and I struck up a friendship. Bruce has come here on a tour, right? I didn't know a lot about Bruce, but he has the most amazing story. His son is in the NHL, and it is awesome. And you're going to see the story of his son right now, how he became a great player in the NHL, and he was the least expected person to come there. So here we go. It's just a powerful story of continuous improvement.
This is where it all began. His
And
family.
don't do it full speed.
Don't do it full
normal
speed? Okay.
Yeah, it's too powerful a story to interrupt it.
Edmonton basement.
That's pretty much where I spent my whole childhood.
When you go back to Edmonton now, do you still go down there?
Oh yeah, that's one of the first places I go.
Tyler spent hundreds, if not thousands of hours here. He shot hundreds of pucks every single day. There's probably 8 inches of plywood and particle board behind here. As he got older, he destroyed more and more. Our boys had a radar gun so they could practice their shooting pucks and throwing baseballs. The ducting and the piping in our house is pretty destroyed. These are all the pucks. There's a puck up there. Every time I walk around the basement with a ladder, I shake the ductwork and pucks fall down.
I used to cut hair down here, and I didn't mind if they were playing or whatever.
One time I was down there shooting and missed a little bit, went off the wall and smoked her in the face.
I just got smacked in the side of the head.
She just blew up her face, had to get root canals.
4 root canals all across here. And he felt so bad. I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
So I wasn't allowed to shoot at that one end for a little.
Tyler's a gentlemanly hockey player, but he's injured his mom more than anyone else. So.
Yeah.
Kind of a neat little tradition that started was everyone that ever played hockey in this basement wrote their names on the wall. Jared Spurgeon, who plays with the Minnesota Wild. Theo Peckham was down here playing hockey.
Ennis developed great skill downstairs, but battled external doubt because of his size. One minor hockey team didn't even look at him in person.
Over the phone, the team cut him. When they got his information, they asked his birth date and which way he shot a puck, but then when they asked for his height and weight, after I told them what his size was, they said, come on down and we'll sign his release. So he got cut from his second team just by the tape measure and the bathroom scale.
I was a little depressed and stuff and was thinking, am I going to make it? And my dad and my mom were like, you're a great player, just stick to it.
Undrafted in the Western Hockey League, he impressed the Medicine Hat Tigers as a 15-year-old in training camp and made the team 1 year later. He loved it there, and that's when things started to change.
This is Tyler's bedroom, and we put this on the wall for him. He wanted dream big. He made Canada's under-18 team and Canada's junior team, and they won gold, and so dream big worked.
So Tyler, when was the first time you thought, I can play in the NHL?
At the under-17s, I made the all-star team. I was like, wow, I made this 5-team all-star team with Tavares, so that's pretty cool.
Ennis wasn't certain he should attend the 2008 draft because there was no guarantee he'd be a first-rounder. On the advice of his parents and agent, he went and was rewarded with a 26th overall selection. Now he's repaying the Sabres, a critical figure in this late-season charge.
Tyler Ennis gives Buffalo a 2-goal lead.
So now that you're here, do you allow yourself to say, I've made it, I'm an NHLer?
I think once you say, okay, like, I'm happy with what I've done, that's when you get worse, and that's when you're finished. So now it's kind of like, okay, I'm here, I want to do something special.
So I'll tell you a story that Bruce told me. I know, he didn't say anything. The humblest guy. Tyler just came back and walked into his parents' house in the office and signed a $24 million contract with his parents. Unbelievable.
Yeah, the last thing you said there is, I think when you get content with where you're at, you start getting worse. That's the whole resting on your laurels thing. That's a very powerful. A lot of people get famous or they become very successful, and then they slack off for even just a little bit, and they end up worse than they were before. Okay, so we're gonna watch this Gemba video. Do you want to just watch the whole thing, Paul, or?
Yeah, well, let's watch at least half of it.
Okay.
Let's start with it.
Hey there, my name is Ron Pereira, and what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to kind of redo a simulation that I first did back in around 2008. And this first simulation was actually the first video that I ever made in my life. I was actually sitting at my kitchen table. It was about 1 a.m. and I had some Home Depot lights strapped to a step ladder. That was my lighting, and maybe some kitchen cabinets. I nearly burnt my house down, I think, that night. Anyhow, I somehow got that video put together and uploaded it back then to Google Video, if anybody remembers that. And anyhow, I embedded it on my blog back then, which was LSS Academy, and the comments kind of just blew up, and people just went crazy. Some people were like almost attacking me. They were angry. They were thinking I was playing some kind of a trick or something like that, but there was no tricks. It was just one-piece flow versus batch production. And so obviously we got a little bit better at making videos, so we're not in my kitchen. And so I want to redo that simulation here. And the first thing I would encourage everyone to do is to watch this video, but then go ahead and try this yourselves. And I'm doing it by myself, but you can actually do this simulation easily with, say, 3 people. One person could be the folding station, the folding of the paper. The next person could be the stuffing of the envelopes, and then perhaps the third person could seal and stamp the envelopes. So there's many different ways of doing this, but since I'm by myself, I'm going to do it on my own. So I've got 10 pieces of paper. This is just standard paper from our printer, and I've got 10 envelopes. And I've got my Gemba Academy stamper. I'm not actually going to stamp it because Leslie in our office would yell at me if I wasted these envelopes. So what I'm going to do is get my little stopwatch and my iPhone dialed in. I think maybe Greg will put a little timer at the bottom of the video here or something, but let's see how this goes. So round 1 is mass production. Are you ready? Here we go. All right, so first thing, I'm going to start folding. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do my very best so nobody thinks I'm playing any games to work at the same pace, no matter if I'm doing mass production or one-piece flow. Now, this simulation was first, I learned about this in the book Lean Thinking. Dr. James Womack first wrote about how he asked his daughters what they thought the best way would be to go about stuffing envelopes for some marketing material he wanted to send out. And they kind of naturally moved towards this kind of a batch production mindset. And I think if anyone's ever been married and had to do the wedding invitations, chances are really good that you did what I'm doing now. Is someone folded and someone did all the stuffing and someone did all the stamping and so forth. So it's, I don't know, for whatever reason, mass production is very comfortable to us, and we're drawn to it for some reason. People talk about the early farmers, how they used to have to kind of store up wheat and grain for the long winter, and batching was kind of ingrained in our thought process. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but anyhow, so you can see I've got lots of inventory, waste of inventory, kind of piling up here in front of me. All right, so all 10 pieces are folded. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff all 10 envelopes. Okay. Now here's the crazy thing. What happens if I had made a kind of a folding mistake on all of the pieces of paper, and I didn't discover it until after the stuffing step? Well, I would have a bunch of defects on my hand. And so that's another kind of drawback or negative to mass production. It kind of hides quality problems, or can hide quality problems. Okay, almost done. Now after this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to seal all of the envelopes.
guess I probably shouldn't be looking in, but it'd be kind of weird, kind of gross. Nobody wants to see me looking. Bunch of envelopes. I'm hoping Greg, our videographer back here, comes up with some cool music or something. Kind of boring to stay here watching me fold envelopes, but. Okay. All right, so they're all sealed. Now, what we got to do is we got to stamp them all. So I'm just going to kind of simulate the stamping process. Double check I got the right orientation, otherwise stamp them wrong side, which I guess doesn't really matter. But. All right. 3:42 is our magic time here. So go ahead and write that down. We'll put it up on the screen here. But 3:42 is the mass production time to beat. So let's see what happens. So I'll just kind of move this off to the side and let's get set up for the one-piece flow. So everything is going to be the same. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick up a piece of paper, I'm going to fold it, I'm going to stuff it, I'm going to seal it, turn it over, stamp it, and that piece is going to be done. I'm going to move through all 10 pieces that same way. Okay, so let's see, let's go. All right, folding the first piece, pick up the envelope, stuff it, seal it, stamp it. First piece done in about 17 seconds or so. Hold. Okay. Now, there are, as we've mentioned in several Gemba Academy videos, prerequisites to one-piece flow. You've got to have a stable process. If you are producing tons of defects, one-piece flow is going to be very challenging. I mean, the good thing is you'll immediately identify those issues and kind of be forced to deal with them, so that can be a good thing, but it can be uncomfortable and painful if you don't have stable processes. Okay. I was telling Greg with some music, I was thinking like Motley Crue would be kind of cool. Whoop, gotta pay attention, seal it. For the music for this video, and Greg probably won't do that, but wish I knew some jokes. I really know any jokes. Actually, I know one joke. I'm gonna tell a joke while I'm doing one-piece flow just to prove how awesome it is. So, a horse. He walks into the bar. The bartender looks at the horse. He says, "Why the long face?" Get it? The long face? Oh gosh, I'm like laughing myself. Greg's laughing in the back. At least it's one person. My first it was just me in my kitchen. I was praying my kids in the car. Almost done. Last one. Whoop. Okay. All right, 256. So we went from, what was it, Greg? We had 342 to 256. So it's quite an improvement. And what I would really encourage you to do with your teams is to watch this together and then do the simulation yourself. Do it by yourself, do it with a team of 3 people, something like that. And then brainstorm why you think the one-piece flow was faster. And it always will be faster. And I'll give you a little hint. When you look at the one-piece flow methodology, that first piece of paper that I'm folding, well, I never set it down. Whereas in a batch production, I folded that first piece of paper, sat it down, then it sat in this big pile, and then eventually I picked that paper up again, and then I stuffed it, and I sat it back down. Eventually, I came back around to it, I picked that piece of paper up again in the envelope. This time I sealed it, and then I sat it down, and then finally, after the other ones were done, I picked that piece paper up again in the envelope and stamped it. And so what we're doing is just all this touching of that same piece of paper. And so that's just one of the many reasons why this one is faster. But I would encourage you to go with your teams, do the simulation, and then really brainstorm and see if you can figure out why it's faster, what the efficiencies are, and then how does that apply to your work? That's the most important thing, because some people may stuff envelopes for a living, but most of us don't. And so how do you take this principle of one-piece flow and apply it to your work? We have ways here at Gemba Academy, the way we produce videos, we try to work in kind of one-piece flow mentality. So no matter what kind of work you do, this methodology can help you. You might have to bend and twist to make it work, depending on the kind of work you do. But one-piece flow is always going to be superior. Again, you've got to have stable processes. It's not necessarily easy. Don't want to make it sound like it's easy.
Whoops. Oh
Hi,
my gosh.
Co-founder of Gemba.
I picked up the mouse.
It
was over.
So what do you guys think? Why?
It shows how one-piece flow makes it work easier. It makes it, you don't have to drop the product, you don't have to waste motion, you get the process done, you don't have to touch it many times, you don't have to waste as much time.
Michelle, for you, that you're new here, what did you think? Is that kind of shocking to see that it would make that big a difference?
Kind of, just because I used to waitress before, so everything I did was kind of mass production because I was trying to get ready for my lunch rushes. But it is a lot faster, and even like the 3 weeks that I've been here, I've noticed it myself. So.
Awesome. Very cool. You know, what I think of, Michelle, when I go to a restaurant, I always watch, I ask the waitress for something, and then they're going off and they're doing 10 different things instead of just getting it done. I say, can I have some water? And then 7 minutes later, they come back with the water. Well, I'm at that point, I'm on the floor dying of dehydration, right? Instead of just getting it done. And then she says she forgot and he forgot, and I'm going, one piece flow. Yeah. You know, it's so simple.
Well, Michelle never forgot.
Yeah, that's right. It's crazy how many times they do forget, though.
Well, I kept thinking while I was watching the video, there was so much non-value added activity. That's all I kept seeing is the transporting, there's no value in that, so.
Awesome. Good observation. Anybody else have any more comments? I do. Yeah.
One piece flow is the way to go.
You got it, man. Ashley, what do you think?
We've had the similar video for my guys in one of the morning meetings, and it's great when you can see it in such a simple way. So you can demonstrate to them. You can explain things to people when you're talking to them, but when you can show them visually, it makes a big difference. And what we've done is we've drawn out all the processes on one board in our factory just for the production of one of the items. And then something like this demonstrates every time something's sat. So we cut steel, and then it's sat waiting for the next guy to pick it up before they move it. So because they can see it a lot more visually, people are starting to look at things differently within the factory, and things aren't sitting for as long now. We've got more mobile carts and things in there. So it's just showing a video like that made a big change within 1 week.
The number one thing for me about that video is that Ron is relaxed on the second simulation as well as in the first one, but he didn't say, I'm going to work really fast to beat the time. He just casually went about his work. And I think the important thing about lean is we're trying to make work easy here. We're not trying to make it hard. We're not trying to work you to the bone. We want it to be easy and efficient. And you'll get there if you understand one piece flow.
I wanted to try this thing. This is awesome.
You should try it rap style.
Yo. Well, I think the most important thing that Ron pointed out was, as a process engineer, one of the tools that you need to have in your arsenal is how many times you touch something. Mm-hmm. So that's something that we do here when we're building a part. You build a part and then you put it down, then you build the box that it goes in, and then you put the part in the box. But actually, sometimes if you just reverse the order of things, you build the box, you put the part in the box as you build it, then you just close the box. So it's about touching it the least amount of times. The best movie that illustrates that is Happy Gilmore with Adam Sandler. Now, this is the guy that played hockey, just like earlier, and he watched people play golf. He'd say, why do they hit the ball so many times? Just hit it in the hole. So he'd actually drive the ball from the tee into the hole. So, and that's really what lean is about, is hitting the ball the least amount of times.
Meetings of that sounds good. I haven't seen it.
You've never seen Happy Gilmore?
And Bob Barker's in it too.
I have your dogs.
The price is wrong, Bob. All right.
Stay new to your pets.
Okay, so Paul, we're gonna watch how much of this do you want to watch?
Just watch. How long is it?
It's 18 minutes long.
It's 18 minutes. Let's watch 1/3 of it. Okay. So 5 minutes, 6 minutes or so. This is a powerful video. And I think when you watch it, you just have to ask yourself, what is it this guy's saying? If I was doing this, Nick, matter of fact, I'm going to do it right now, okay? Because I'm going to show you how I would do this. Okay, I won't touch the table. Here we go. Prepare to be blown away.
I put it at 1.5.
Okay, that's okay.
How do you explain when things don't go as we assume? Or better, how do you explain when others are able to achieve things that seem to defy all of the assumptions, for example?
Okay, so what's the example of something where someone achieves something to defy all the assumptions?
4 minute mile.
4 minute mile? Okay, what else? We just saw it today. The hockey player. He's a little tiny guy, right? And he goes to the NHL and signs a $24 million contract. Come on. That's defying all the assumptions. So we're going to tie this together with what we've been learning.
Why is Apple so innovative? year after year after year after year, they're more innovative than all their competition. And yet they're just a computer company. They're just like everyone else. They have the same access to the same talent, the same agencies, the same consultants, the same media. Then why is it that they seem to have something different?
Why? Why is Apple so different than everyone else? They're a computer company. They write code, they make computers, they make smartphones, everybody else does it. Why are they so much more innovative than everyone else? Why, you guys?
I think it's because they're not focused on making money.
Very good. Why else? Anybody else know why?
Willing to try new ideas.
Willing to try new ideas? Why else?
Steve Jobs was approaching it from an artistic point of view rather than a
Okay, Steve Jobs approaching it from an artistic point of view.
They have their own culture.
They have their own culture, a very strong culture. Anybody else? Think about it. They're a regular company. They're just like everyone else. They have access to the same employees, the same talent, everything, the same vendors, everything the same. But yet their products are way different than everybody else's. Think about that. It's a good question.
Why is it that Martin Luther King led the civil rights movement? He wasn't the only man who suffered in a pre-civil rights America, and he certainly wasn't the only great orator of the day. Why him? And why is it that the Wright brothers were able to figure out controlled powered manned flight when there were certainly other teams who were better qualified, better funded, and they didn't achieve powered manned flight, and the Wright brothers beat them to it? There's something else at play here. About 3.5 years ago, I made a discovery, and this discovery profoundly changed my view on how I thought the world worked, and it even profoundly changed the way in which I operate in it. As it turns out, there's a pattern. As it turns out, all the great and inspiring leaders and organizations in the world, whether it's Apple or Martin Luther King or the Wright brothers, they all think, act, and communicate the exact same way. And it's the complete...
So what did he discover? They all act, think the same way, and there is a pattern. There's a pattern. There is a sense of urgency, Callie. Very good. There's a pattern. So he identified the pattern.
Opposite to everyone else. All I did was codify it. And it's probably the world's simplest idea. I call it the golden circle. Why, how, what? This little idea explains why some organizations and some leaders are able to inspire where others aren't. Let me define the terms really quickly. Every single person, every single organization on the planet knows what they do 100%. Some know how they do it, whether you call it your differentiating value proposition or your proprietary process or your USP. But very, very few people or organizations know why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit. That's a result. It's always a result. By why, I mean what's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? Why does your organization exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? And why should anyone care?
Why do we exist? To improve? Why do we exist?
People.
To grow people. Okay? So we know why we exist. We're here not to make money. We make money, but we're here to grow people. And in the process of growing people, we make more money than most companies would ever dream of for a company our size.
Well, as a result, the way we think, the way we act, the way we communicate is from the outside in. It's obvious. We go from the clearest thing to the fuzziest thing. But the inspired leaders and the inspired organizations, regardless of their size, regardless of their industry, all think, act, and communicate from the inside out. Let me give you an example. I use Apple because they're easy to understand and everybody gets it.
How do inspired leaders act?
Inside out.
Inside out. What does that mean? Andre, start with the what?
The why.
Start with the why. Why we're here. Not how we're here, not what we make, but why we're here.
I think they also say that that's the most fuzziest thing, so inspirational leaders make that crystal clear on what the why is.
Exactly.
And everything else really doesn't matter what you do as long as you have a why.
Phenomenal.
If Apple were like everyone else, a marketing message from them might sound like this. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? Meh. And that's how most of us communicate. That's how most marketing is done, that's how most sales is done, and that's how most of us communicate interpersonally. We say what we do, we say how we're different or how we're better, and we expect some sort of behavior, a purchase, a vote, something like that. Here's our new law firm. We have the best lawyers with the biggest clients. We have, we always perform for our clients, do business with us. Here's our new car. It gets great gas mileage. It has, leather seats. Buy our car. But it's uninspiring. Here's how Apple actually communicates.
Does anyone know what our tagline is after our company? It says FastCap, and then what does it say underneath it? No, it used to say that. It says lean innovations that change the world. Lean innovations that change. Our goal is to change the world. It is not to make woodworking products.
Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. would just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Totally different, right? You're ready to buy a computer from me. All I did was reverse the order of the information. What it proves to us is that people don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. This explains why every single person in this room is perfectly comfortable buying a computer from Apple. But we're also perfectly comfortable buying an MP3 player from Apple, or a phone from Apple, or a DVR from Apple. But as I said before, Apple's just a computer company. There's nothing that distinguishes them structurally from any of their competitors. Their competitors are all equally qualified to make all of these products. In fact, they tried. A few years ago, Gateway came out with flat screen TVs. They're eminently qualified to make flat screen TVs. They've been making flat screen monitors for years. Nobody bought one.
Okay, that's it. Tomorrow we're going to pick it up. So that's some great learning for today, to think about what's important in life, the why.
So what are the three things? Hold on, don't look at the screen. What are the three things? What are the three circles, outer to inner? What, the how, the why. So what do we do? It's one of the principles, we were just looking at it.
Think from the inside out. Kathy said it.
Right, I mean, like, what does FastCap do?
Well, that's our number one principle, is to grow people.
How do we do it?
By our morning meetings is one of them.
And
by showing history.
By doing this.
Going over improvements, going over mistakes. Why do we do it? Come on, guys, change the world. We're changing the world. It's right on our,
right there, right at the top. See?
There you go.
Lean innovations that change the world. You know, when I put that up there, I thought to myself, people are going to think, boy, that's pretty pretentious of Paul. Think a little company, whether it's in Bellingham, Washington, that could change the world. But that's our goal.
All right. On to the Constitution. Shelley, how did you learn all these and the dates and everything? You've only been here a little while. How do you...
Just looking over them every day by repetition.
Yeah, you know the dates and the presidents and everything.
I'm trying to get all 27, but I have only about 12.
I don't know if I've ever heard you miss one.
But I do know the 27th Amendment. All of a sudden, though, I just drew a blank. Oh, I know.
I see, I'm trying to psych you out.
Any law that increases the pay of legislators will not take effect until after the election.
See, that's like word for word what it says here. That's why I'm a little suspicious.
It is Bush, 1992.
Which Bush? Papa Bush or?
George W. Bush.
It was George W. Okay.
1992.
Yeah.
That would have been George
Senior.
That's
Walker.
not George W. That's George
Walker.
H.
Herbert.
Oh, George H.
So it's his father, George H. was president in the 90s.
Okay.
And it's okay. And George Jr. or Herbert W. Excuse me, was from 2001 till 2008.
All right.
2009.
On to stretching. Put your hands up.
Good job, Shelley.
Yeah. Okay, arm across. Is that anybody's first time seeing the whole envelope thing with the, what? Oh, okay. Trying to lead the meeting here, Kathy. Is that anybody's first time with the envelope, folding 10 envelopes? Yeah, is that pretty powerful? You guys hear us say one piece flow a lot, but did that really... I remember the first time I watched this video, that's really what did it for me. Because I used to do chisel kits, and I used to do them all batch work. And when I saw that, I was like, there's no way that's possible. And I went back and I made a chisel kit, and it was like 2 or 3 minutes faster doing one piece flow than...
I always try to do batch work in the FastCap area for some reason.
Yeah.
And I just tested it myself and found out that, batch work is actually slower.
Okay, bend down.
You sit there and count out your FastCap.
Yep.
Clamshell. It's faster to just do it one at a time.
It's so counterintuitive. It doesn't, but I mean, the whole picking something up once is really, I think that's where 90% of the time is saved, is you're only touching the thing once. Okay, grab a ankle, stretch your, whatever your leg muscle is. Quad.
I think the other thing is how much space you need when you're working, because you don't have to have
Bring it to the front.
work in progress parts that sits and take
Yeah.
up space.
And the other thing is, when Paul used to do the paper airplane thing, he'd wait till you were like halfway through your folds, and he'd say, "Stop! Okay, the customer wants this fold in the plane, or like in the wing." So you'd have to go back and redo all the ones that you just did, or throw them out because they didn't have that fold in it. Whereas with one piece flow, you can just stop, and the next one you implement the change. And
Another thing you can do is do it with 3 people. First person is folding, so he has to do all 10 before he can pass it to the second person. And so the second person's waiting.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, and that's even more powerful when you do it with 3 people. It's even more of a gap. So.
Okay. I'm gonna let John do the ratings.
Says one-piece flow. It's the only way.
I'm gonna let John do them because he usually goes with the lower one, and that's more my style.
So 1 is an F and 5 is an A. So a 4 is a B and a 3 is a C, 2 is a D. So when we used to do this to 1 through 10, I think people got higher scores because everyone thinks like, oh, 3, that's good, but 3 is a C.
Okay, so I'm going to do a quick little intro for Ron and everyone. So every day we have a different person lead the morning meeting. So Nick's day is today, and every day we want to continuously improve. So we want the people to be evaluated instantly, one-piece flow. As they do the meeting, they're going to be evaluated on a bunch of criteria from passion, prepared, engaging, asking questions, smooth transitions, humor, and control, and then they get a score so they can see as they improve month after they lead the meeting. So our goal is to create leaders here, and so we allow everyone to lead a meeting all the time, and it's very effective. So now we're going to grade them.
Okay, so passion, 2, 3, 4, 5. You prepared, 2, 3, 4, 5. Engaging, 2, 3, 4, 5. Asking questions, 2, 3, 4, 5. Smooth transitions, 2, 3, 4, 5. Humor, 2, 3, 4, 5. And control, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So what'd you get?
Got an A.
So Nick, good job. How did you think you did?
I think I should have taken a little more time Friday to prepare because, yeah, and I forgot the mic a bunch of times, so.
I think it was an A performance, and I think that you had a lot of pressure on you because we're filming this morning, but I think given the constraint of the pressure, I think you did a very good job. It could have been improved,
yeah.
but he did a very good job.
I'm just happy I didn't let Michelle do her first meeting this morning. So.
And so is Michelle happy, right? Tomorrow with the 60 people, you're going to do it, Michelle, okay?
Oh, I just failed.
Nice job.
Oh, right. I know this. I was born in the 20th century. I know that. All right.
All right.
Anything else? Are we doing bus or are we all good? Orders?
All good. Okay, let's go to work. Thanks, guys. Nice job, man.
Thank you.